Welcome back to another pre-workout review. So far we have done Nutritech, the non-stim nuke trash, Alpha Sports Nutrition's Rush Extreme, pretty good, really great value for money. One of the best options you can get in South Africa at the moment. And today we'll be doing Sci-core, the Havok pre-workout. This is a limited edition series. It's crazy, so it is not for the faint of heart. They have no under 18s here, so be very careful of this. This thing is loaded with stims and a whole load of ingredients, but really fun. Really fun if you can handle it. It's quite pricey, so not for everyone, but every once in a while getting something like this can be pretty fun. But the flavor, tiger's blood, trash, really cuck. But yeah, anyway, so let's see what they've got in store. So there's quite a few novel ingredients in this pre-workout that I have not seen anywhere else, but yeah, let's get straight into it. So first up, caffeine. This is a pretty strange nutrient panel. Normally it's supposed to be in order of highest to lowest ingredients, but for some reason on this it is not. I think I don't know what order they have it in, to be quite honest. It's just pretty random, but yeah, so I'll be evaluating. They have two different ones. You can have 1 scoop, which is a half dose, or you can do 2 scoops for full dose. And I will be evaluating the full dose because never half-ass, use a whole ass, you know? So, cool. Caffeine anhydrous, first ingredient, 300 milligrams. So this is the fast-acting caffeine. We all know about caffeine. It's in everything that is like energy drinks, coffee, tea, chocolate even. So, yeah, caffeine anhydrous, fast-acting, in and out pretty quick, so it can cause a bit of crashing if you're not careful. But they also have as a second ingredient dicaffeine malate, which is a slower acting form of caffeine, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a more sustained release to prevent crashing. It has a slight synergistic effect with the caffeine, I believe. So it will not it will reduce the crash that you get once it wears off. Only 50 milligrams of dicaffeine malate, which they have the total caffeine as 337.5 milligrams, because the dicaffeine malate will not translate into 1-to-1 caffeine. So from 50 milligrams it obviously yields 37.5 milligrams. So yeah, 350 milligrams of caffeine total. It's quite high, so if you're not used to that, I would recommend starting with 1 scoop or not trying it at all, because yeah, you might die. No, I'm joking, you won't, but be careful. Next up, L-tyrosine, another stimulant. So this is kind of for redlining yourself, getting like alert and cracked out basically. So I would be careful of this if you are sensitive to anxiety, because this is kind of like I believe it works on the dopamine receptor. So it will like make you very jittery if you're vulnerable to that, and like very cracked out. So yeah, pretty good dosage, 750 milligrams. Ideally, I would say the L-tyrosine should be dosed between like 600 and like 1.5 grams. The thing is, when you combine it with other stimulants and ingredients that act on your brain, it can be a little bit nauseating, like it can be a bit much. I have tyrosine as a separate ingredient, and I've been experimenting with different combinations of things. Like I like to buy separate ingredients, and I learned that the hard way. So be careful if you are vulnerable to nausea. There are a lot of ingredients in here that can cause it as a side effect, so just be wary of that. Maybe start with 1 scoop if you're scared. No, I'm joking. Next up, so pretty middle of the range dosage for L-tyrosine. Next up, theobroma cacao. So theobromine are commonly found in cocoa seeds and some other things. It's a natural ingredient, if that means anything to you. But total theobroma cacao is 200 milligrams, which yields as 20% extracted, standardized to 20%, 40 milligrams total. So theobromine is another stimulant. So if you are vulnerable to stimulants and get anxiety and jitters and problems with it, this is another one to add to the list. It can also cause nausea, though it is quite a little bit underdosed. So normally doses of theobromine are between 50 and 300 milligrams. This is 40 milligrams of pure theobromine. So not very strong, but in combination with everything else, very strong. So yeah, be careful of that. And then next up, betaine anhydrous, one of my favorite ingredients in pre-workouts. It's been getting less and less for some reason. You hardly find that it in pre-workouts nowadays. Like I would like for Alpha Rush to put or Rush Extreme to have some betaine in it. That would be really cool. But yeah, so ideally dosage. This is dosed at 500 milligrams in a full serving. Pretty underdosed. I would like to see a gram or more. This is for betaine is for like works on the dopamine. It's like a mood elevator, sort of gets you in a good mood to train and motivation and things like that. Really nice ingredient, but they've only got 500 milligrams. I would like to see that a bit higher, though. The whole pre-workout, there's like so much stuff in here, so then again it depends on what is what. I mean, how it would react with everything else, because there's quite a lot of stuff. But to be honest, I think they can take out some of the ingredients, swap them for better ones, because a lot of the stuff doesn't have that great evidence. Like theobromine is decent, there's like moderate evidence on it, not that great. But yeah, so betaine 500 milligrams, I would like to see a gram at least. Next, L-citrulline, one of the vetted supplements that has pretty damn good evidence on it. 8 grams of citrulline, pure L-citrulline, not L-citrulline malate, pure L-citrulline. So the pumps on this, wild, incredible, insane. 8 grams. We know about L-citrulline by now, nitric oxide precursor, so it increases your vasodilation, increases nitric oxide in the blood, so bigger veins, more blood flow, better pumps. So quite nice. Next up, glycosides, 65% glycerol powder. This is the trademarked glycerol. So this one is supposed to be more active and work better than the like regular glycerol or glycine. 1.5 grams. Like I said about the glycerol in previous videos, this is ideally 10 grams, you know, but yeah, muscle hyperhydrating ingredient, pulls water into the muscles, bigger pumps, but they've only got 1.5 grams in here. Pretty underdosed. I don't think there's a point in having it in the pre-workout. I would prefer to just see like another 2 grams of citrulline, make it 10 grams, just go crazy, you know. But yeah, 1.5 grams. Next up, agmatine sulfate. So I don't know much about this ingredient. I just did some research on it now, just to get read up on it. But it has a mood upregulating effect, so it helps with focus and elevation of mood, works on dopamine receptors as well, gets you like in a good mood. The dosage is standard, is usually between 500 and 1.5 grams, so 500 milligrams to 1500 milligrams. They got right in the middle of the range, so 750 milligrams, really good dosage. I think this is probably a really good ingredient to have in this pre-workout, so that you don't get as messed up from all the stimulants and you don't get too anxious and cracked out. But yeah, good ingredient, I like that, good dosage. Next up, L-ornithine, HCl. I have never seen this ingredient in a pre-workout until this, so I did not know what that was. I looked into it and you'll never guess what it is, another stimulant. So It's quite crazy. So this is a pretty novel ingredient. I haven't seen it ever until now, but it seems to have some decent evidence behind it. It increases like your drive and motivation and going like at it. The dosage in this is 500 milligrams. I believe the dosage is normally between 500 and it's between 1 and 3 grams, so it's a bit underdosed, pretty underdosed actually. Usually you want between 1 and 3 grams for efficacy, but it's still pretty new, so there's not that much. They're still evaluating like the effective dosages and optimal dosages, so it is what it is. To be honest, I would prefer to see this taken out. Like, it's cool and all, yeah. Something I forgot to say about the theobromine is it's similar to caffeine, but the half-life is a lot longer. So caffeine has a half-life of like 6 to 8 hours. Theobromine has a half-life of between like 7 and 12 hours. So you don't want to be taking this at night because it will affect your sleep. So don't take it, I would say, like at least 12 hours before bed. So if you want to be asleep by 11, take it latest 11 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so ornithine, HCl, underdosed but a good ingredient. Seems like moderate evidence and it's pretty new, so considering the evidence is like better, like it shows to be effective, that's a pretty good sign considering there's not that many studies on it. But yeah, we'll have to wait until to see more information. Next up, taurine. So this is also a really good ingredient. You see it on Monster, you see it on a load of energy drinks. Really cheap ingredient, but it's good. It works. Like, it's good for focus. It helps you get locked in for your workout. I really like that ingredient. They've got it at a gram, 1,000 milligrams, so that's pretty nice. I think you can go between 1 and 3 grams, and it's good. But yeah, the synergy between this and like the other ingredients, it's probably better to have it at about 1 gram on the lower side. But yeah, nice. Next up, beta-alanine. Itchy bum, itchy face, tingles. Really great. Well, one of my favorite ingredients. Not really productive for training like in the gym for muscle growth, so it's not much evidence on it. 3.2 grams, which is the minimum effective dose, so that checks that box. No, you can put it a bit higher. Personally, I don't get any tingles from this at all, so that's a bit strange, but I think it's because of how many stems there are in this. So yeah, 3.2 grams minimum effective dose might help with performance, like endurance, so helping push you like further, especially in cardio and things like that. You can go harder for longer. But yeah, next up, niacin, nicotinic acid. Trash ingredient, to be quite honest. There's very little evidence on this. It's supposed to be a combination of stimulant and vasodilator, so it helps increase blood flow, but the evidence is really weak, like very, very weak. I wouldn't bother with this, and it could cause an effect called the niacin rush, which makes your skin go red and like you get a slight tingling sensation, which is what people usually take it for. But yeah, the dosage is usually between 30 and 50 milligrams. This is at 30 milligrams, so it's also vitamin B3, so it's 188% of your recommended average. But yeah, so it is what it is. Some people like it, some people don't. It's just, I don't think it's necessary with all the other stems and nitric oxide precursors. So yeah, not necessary. 30 milligrams, it's checking the box dosage wise. And then next up we got a prop blend. Yay, I love to see it. No, I'm joking, it's trash. Don't put prop blends if you're making pre-workouts. It's just scammy. But they got a combination of astragalus membranosus, so astragalus root extract for nutrient uptake support, and panaginsane So these are supposed to help with absorbing the ingredients better, but the evidence is so minimal. There's like nothing showing that it works. Like it might potentially help with nutrient uptake, but I wouldn't count on it. Like I would prefer to see maybe something like L-glutamine or something just to help, because the only way that these things will be working is through improving your gut, like microbiome and like gut health potentially, and that's like very low evidence, but we know with L-glutamine that it actually increases, like it provides a source that the cell walls of your intestines use like directly, so that has a lot better evidence on it than astragalus and panagens things. So, and also there's trademarked versions of these. This is not that. The trademarked ones have more evidence on them, and these are just like regular. So pretty useless, to be quite honest. But yeah, that's 50 milligrams of the total. They don't break down exactly how much of each, which is not a great sign, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so overall, stacked ingredient list, like ridiculous amount of stems and blood flow ingredients. It's insane. There's 40, they break down the serving size like pretty openly, so it's quite nice. Not too bad. They say 40 servings, 40 scoops on the side, and then on the supplement container they say servings per container 20 to 40, so at least they're not being too deceptive on that, which is nice. But yeah, 10 gram serving is a half a scoop, 20 gram serving is full dose, so it's actually should be 20 servings. I think that would be a more honest business practice to just put 20 servings there, but you know, it is what it is, or 20 full servings, but still 20 servings is a good amount. 400 grams. It's a very weirdly shaped container. Normally, like, this is also 400 grams, and like, how does that work? But yeah, this is actually quite nice though, this form factor, because it it fits in a gym bag really well. Like, this is a little bit clunky and takes up a lot of space, but this, like, I just leave it in my gym bag and it's quite nice. Yeah, but so overall rating, I would say for the formula, this is probably the best pre-workout in the country that we have available. There are some ingredients that are missing that I would like to see in here, such as alpha GPC. That would be really cool. So if it is up to me personally, I would like to see the there's no choline donors in this, so that's something missing, because like that will help with mental drive. It's another pathway that isn't just stimulant or dopamine focused. So I would personally like take out the niacin, take out the L-ornithine, and the theobromine is kind of cool because it also increases blood flow, so I would leave that in. Maybe increase the dose a little bit. Can even drop the caffeine a little bit. Put in alpha GPC, probably 600 mgs. That would be cool. But yeah, that would be nice to see. And then maybe some malic acid, like, just because most of the studies done on citrulline malate, like, not most of the studies are done on that, not on L-citrulline. But yeah, so just to check the box of in case something, like in case the performance comes from the combination of malic acid and L-citrulline, then you just have that there to make sure that you're getting that benefit. But yeah, so formula, I would say this is probably 8.5 out of 10, so highest rated pre-workout so far. But yeah, I would like to see some alpha GPC or something in there, take out some of these stems and nausea prone ingredients. So like literally for nausea, caffeine, L-tyrosine, theobromine, agnatine, L-ornithine, and niacin all can contribute to nausea and like intestinal distress. So it's pretty hectic. But yeah, overall pretty damn good formula, well dosed for most of the ingredients. 8.5 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, and then flavor trash. This is really like it's difficult to drink. Better than this crap by far, but still it's quite rough. I don't know who thought watermelon, coconut and strawberries would be a good combination. It doesn't taste anything like any of those ingredients, but some people might like it. I really don't. But yeah, it's weird though. Like as you drink it, you like it gets better, if that makes sense. Like it tastes the same, but like you start to feel it working, and you're like, I like this. But yeah, I've also never taken a single scoop. So yeah, value for money, I would say this is not great. 5 out of 10. It's really expensive, and I think it's because of all the weird ingredients, like these extra novel ingredients. So yeah, it's also 0 sugar, if that means anything to you, and it doesn't break down there's no nutrient panel. It doesn't show how many calories or anything in this, like how much carbs, how much protein, how much fats. Obviously it's not going to be protein or fats, but still it would be cool to see a little bit of electrolytes, like some sodium in here. But I mean, this is a limited series. They have also in my opinion, the best one that they had from Sci-core was the Noxy Black. I don't know if they still sell that anymore, but that was a really good formula. Then they also had one before that they discontinued, which was insane. That was like the first good pre-workout that I ever had. But yeah, overall I would say, so we got 8.5 for formula. Taste is, what did I say, flavor 5 out of 10. No. Yeah, let's give it a 5 out of 10. And then for value, I would say also 5 out of 10. So that brings it down a bit. I would say overall 6.5 out of 10 rating if you average it out, if my math is mathing. But this, just because of the value, it brings it down in the flavor. But in terms of formula, this is probably the best in the country that I know of so far. Like cracked out formula, but yeah, not for everyone. So yep, thanks for watching. Let me know what pre-workouts you'd like for me to do next, if any, or any supplements or whatever. Like, subscribe, comment and share. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.